I am the biggest disruptor in this sport right now. There's no question. I know how to play the game. I know how to do this whole social media thing.
Being a superpower, does that mean there's a target on your back?
Oh, for sure. I got a dream job. There we go.
So do you remember how this all started? This was in Vegas.
Vegas.
The bid came up, your name, I was waiting.
Yep.
I was ready to burn up the credit card that day.
I don't even know how we ended up doing this together, though.
We were battling each other.
I know.
Oh, and then you guys were like, hey, we're in cahoots together now.
Let's
We're
just
gonna
combine
do this together.
forces.
Honestly, it's smart. It's very smart.
You're easily one of the most interesting people that I know that's in my world right now.
Thank you.
So yeah, we're all here to pick your brain.
Awesome.
We're not volleyball experts, so we're kind of approaching this as from like a parent perspective.
I love that.
Like a team parent perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like I feel like this is gonna be Arielle 101 for a lot of new parents who are coming in for this next season.
That's great.
I guess we'll just kind of start from the top.
Perfect.
Born in DC, right?
Born in DC. I was born at Georgetown Hospital. My parents were coaching at Georgetown at the time. And I was born in the city, but we lived in Maryland. And I grew up in Maryland. But my dad and mom met coaching at Georgetown together.
Yeah.
And then about, I want to say I might have been one when, maybe even earlier, that my dad, the opportunity opened up at American. My dad applied for it, got the job at American. My mom was his assistant. She got her master's degree, and I was a baby in the ball cart.
Literally sitting in the ball
ball cart. Like I was there the entire time. I grew up in Bender Arena on American University campus and grew up there. Then my mom had my brothers. She stepped away from coaching, had us, homeschooled us, and we just grew up in the gym.
Was there any choice for you to not be in volleyball?
Yes, it was. I was a swimmer when I was a little kid. We played everything. I was basketball and softball and all the things, and everybody always asked me, like, are you gonna play volleyball? And I was so defiant that I was just like, no, I'm not playing volleyball. I'm not doing it. And then I think it was in 6th grade that my dad took over Metro, the club that I played for, and started the club. And I went to a camp and was like, yeah, sure, like I'll try it. And I kind of knew what was going on, and then I had this feeling of like, I kind of like knowing what's going on and nobody else does here. And so I felt like I knew something, and then I started to kind of love it, and then swimming was over, and it was volleyball from there.
Was there a moment that that volleyball clicked for you?
That's a good question. I don't know. I don't know if there was a moment where I just decided that volleyball was it. I knew from a really early age I want to go to college and play a sport. Like that was that's just what we do in our family. We go and we play something, and they always were like, play whatever you want. You just have to do something. You can't quit anything, and you have to do something. And so once volleyball kind of came about, it was just like, I want to get as good as I can because I was competitive, but there wasn't really a moment that I was like, it's clicking.
That is wild that playing college sports is basically your destiny. It's just, it's what you do.
We do.
Wow.
From an early age.
Yes, because we grew up on a college campus, and it was just like, I was surrounded by college athletes from the time I was very, very little, and so I was just like, which one am I going to pick? Am I going to pick swimming in college? Am I going to pick whatever sport it was? It was just, this is what I'm going to do.
How was a conversation at dinner? Like a family conversation? Is it around sports? Is it about volleyball?
It was volleyball a lot. Okay. My parents were very balanced people. Like we were really involved in church when we were kids. We were very involved in lots of different communities. Volleyball wasn't the only thing, but volleyball took us away from a lot of the other communities. So on Sundays, like we weren't at church, we were at volleyball, but like we were still very involved in different communities. And so my dad was very like, balance is, we don't just do one thing. And so there were times where it was balanced conversation, but everything was heavy volleyball. Like it was always, I remember being a teenager and being like, everything's about volleyball here. Like, why is everything about volleyball? And my parents were just like, it's not volleyball, it's people. Like, this is just what we do here.
What'd you learn about life playing college ball?
That not every adult is right. And not every culture is healthy. I had a tough college career. It was not, grew up in such a healthy environment. My family ran it. It was, they looked out for me. So I wasn't going through I went through stuff, but I didn't go through anything where I didn't have adults that were looking out for me the entire time. When I went to college, nobody was looking out for me.
Wow.
And so it was a pretty cutthroat world, and we weren't successful. So I was combative in nature of the way that I am, and so I was like, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. And not everybody loves that when you're like, this is wrong. And I'm like, well, we're not successful, so what are we doing here? And so it was I also had a lot of transition in my college, of my college coaches. I had 9 coaches in 2 years.
Wow.
Which is a little much, yeah. So, I mean, it was my coach when I came in, he left, and I was at Hawaii. Then it was the interim coach. He got fired after that year. Then the new coach came in, and they each brought 3 people with them. And so it was a revolving door of a lot of this. And so I just ran into a lot of people that were not very good people. And so that was a new situation for me of like learning what not to do from the people that I think I take a lot from that time of like, I don't want to be treated like that. So I'm not going to treat people like that. And the way that I coach, there was a lot of the bad that I went through that I relate to it now, which ended up being a great thing.
Can you give an example?
When I was in my sophomore year, I got hurt. I had an ACL injury, and I don't think that I was given any sort of emotional support at all. And it was just I was left alone, kind of. And when I see kids going through the emotional side of this, it's a big strength for me because I've been through some stuff, and that to me is what I needed. I try and do that. I am what I needed when I went through the difficult stuff of my career.
Yeah.
I think that's an easy thing for coaches to be able to fall back on, is like, this is what I experienced, so I'm going to try and fill that hole. I think we do it as parents too. Of like, I fill that hole of like, this is what I needed, so I'm going to try and give that.
Can we rewind just a little bit when you said it's your combative nature?
Yeah. I've got the combative nature.
I
don't know if you've seen my videos,
but it's also like
nature.
In corporate America, being a disruptor is actually very well received today, right? So I mean, it's the same concept.
The culture's changed.
Yeah.
Like the stuff that I'm doing now, there's no way. There's just no way. 10 years ago, there's almost no way. Like the way that culture has shifted, we got through cancel culture and came out on the other side of it. And real stories need to be told, and people were sick of the cancel culture. And so I saw the way that things were going with that, and my nature is disruptor. And so I kind of saw that and was like, I get to put a spotlight on it now, and I don't really have to care if people want to cancel me on it. Great. Like, okay. Like, it's not, it is what I stand by. I'm also almost 35 here. Like, I couldn't have done this when I was 20.
Sure.
There's no way, because I am so firm in, I believe this is right, I believe this is wrong, and that's it.
Did that come from just growing up in your family environment?
I want to say that came from my dad. My dad, the epitome of my dad raising me as like his only daughter was like, if they hit you, you hit back. Like, that's it. Like,
you gotta be tough.
Yeah, if they hit you, you hit back. You don't hit first, but like if they hit you, you hit back. I want to stand up for what I believe in. Or whenever I spoke up for something, I just could see it on his face. It was like this smirk of like, that's funny.
That's my girl, right?
Yeah,
That's exactly.
He grew up in a Jewish home and was just very like, in like the inner city of Pittsburgh. And so him growing up, like, he was from a gritty place. And so him raising me in Maryland in like a nice place, he was just like, there's got to be some grit that you have to be able to get through what you're getting through.
How much of that do you translate to your girls as you're raising them too?
That's a good question. I don't know if I've really hit it yet with them. They're still so Princess Tutu, whatever, you know, like they're still pretty Disney princess on like, I think that there is a stand up for yourself, but I see it in my oldest especially, like I see she is verbal like I was when I was a kid. And so I think it's really just, I'm trying to instill confidence in them. I don't know if we've dealt with any situations where I'm like, you have to speak up for yourself. It's more been toning it back because there's so much. There's like a lot of personality going on in our house. And so I'm trying to teach them when to speak. I don't have any issue of like them speaking up too much. They also see what I do. So it's given.
Do they watch your reels?
They watch a lot of it. Like
Okay.
I'll show them the things that I want them to see. I obviously am not going through the comments, reading them the comments, but like I definitely, they know what I do. They've been around when girls are asking to take pictures with me and people are like that kind of stuff. They've seen it. And so, I'm in the grocery store and somebody will come up to me and be like, I love your Instagram or I love whatever. And the girls see that. And so they know like what's going on.
When are you going to tell them the ugly side of it? I mean,
That's a good question.
Some of the comments
It's
after.
bad. Oh yeah.
It was.
It's bad. I'm going through it right now. I don't let my kids scroll. I think that scrolling, that's where there's a big issue of what it's feeding you and what kids are getting, taking in all the time. I think that's a problem, and that's something that I will be monitoring and not letting my kids do for a very long time. But when it comes to the proficiency of social media, of creating, I think that it's really cool to let kids create. I think it's the new age of I don't even know what I was doing when I was their age, but like what creating is. It's artistic.
I love the irony that you're like, you can't scroll, and
you
yet
can't
you
look
create
at it,
content.
But I want you to create.
But
Yes.
you're creating content that other kids are scrolling through.
Totally. Y'all let anybody scroll and see like what you're creating. But I think there are creators and there are consumers. And if that's not a balance, if you are only consuming and you're not creating, what are you doing on social media? Like, we got to create something to put out there. And I felt like for me, it was a balance of, man, I'm consuming a lot. I'm creating for Beta Bay sometimes, but I'm not creating for myself. And I think that I probably should, because I am creative and I can do this and I have the skills to do it. With the girls, I want to teach them how to create and how to, whatever it is they want to do, how to portray yourself in the way that you want to be portrayed. Yeah, Australia just banned it for 16 and under, completely banned like all app usage or anything, like all of it is 16 and under, you cannot get on.
What's your opinion on that?
I kind of love it. I want there to be support for kids to be able to learn how to do it though. Yeah. And learn how to create and learn how to edit and learn how to put themselves out there.
I seem to remember you telling the boys at Bay, be intentional with everything that you do online.
Yeah, I'm very anti the volleyball account. You guys, like, all these kids have volleyball accounts. And I'm like, what are we hiding when I see that? What are we, no, you are who you are. And everything about you goes into who you are. And volleyball's a part of that, and lean into that. Great. Like, there's nothing that you should be hiding about the activity that you love.
So a siloed volleyball only versus a personal account.
I want
all of it.
Everything in your name.
Fascinating.
Arielle Houlihan is this.
Yeah.
And the just volleyball account for Arielle Houlihan, the Arielle Houlihan class of 2030 is just a volleyball account for volleyball, and that's it. No, that's you.
Yeah.
You are Arielle Houlihan. So post on your own, build your own platform of who you are.
So, like, can you define your brand? Like, how do you, I know.
If you Google me now, it says internet personality. So I did not choose that, but I did Google myself, and it says internet personality now. So I think that is very funny.
I know it evolves over time, but like, what's the elevator pitch for like what your brand is?
I'm a coach. Yeah, I love being a coach. I have no plans to not be a coach. I love having a team. I think it is the best part of my job, best part of my whole experience doing all of this is my 12 kids on my team. Like that is specifically, yes, building the club has been incredible, and that has snowballed from the beginning of that has snowballed into now I have the freedom to have my team and focus on my team. But it's the personal relationship. I'm a coach. Like that is the epitome of everything that I do. Yeah, I post a lot online too, and I'm a little bit different of a coach when it comes to it. So I'm a coach / internet personality, I guess.
No, but you know what? Actually, the definition of a coach now in today's world and what you do, it's beyond just coaching sports, right? Like you're a life coach.
Oh yeah.
Right? Like
I'm a therapist.
Correct.
I've got all
You're
the
an internet coach, to be honest, right?
Totally.
So,
and
Business consultants.
Yeah.
I'm teaching. Like I'm a teacher. But I'm also coaches have lots of different titles, I think, that go under coach because you're a parent and you're a teacher and you're a facilitator and you're a
advisor.
There's so many hats that you have to wear being a coach. Some are good at some things and some are not. Some fill that role and some don't. But you do have to fill multiple things if you are a coach.
I have Millionaire's bacon. You ever
I've
had?
had Millionaire's bacon before.
All right. Your napkin's right there.
Thank you. So good.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh, so good.
Part of I think the fascination is the Arielle that we see like in person.
Yeah.
Is so different than the Arielle that we see like on social.
Totally.
And you know what cracked me up? There was a conversation. These little boys sitting on the ground. You walked by, and immediately you were like, "Let's do this."
Let's do a question and answer. You guys can ask me any question that you want. Okay. First question: why is there a cameraman following me? Because I'm a narcissist. Do you know what a narcissist is? I'm such an open book. Like, I'll talk about anything at any time with anyone, anywhere. Yeah. Some of my good friends will be like, because I get people coming up to me all the time and they're like, aren't you, they get sick of it for me. Yeah. And I'm like, I could literally do this all day. Yeah. Yes, there have been a very few times that I've been like, wow, I didn't even know I had a social battery and it just hit. That, it is done. I can't do that. But that was after hours and hours and hours of taking pictures of people and that. It was chaos in DC this year, and that's the first time that I've ever been like, that's too much. I could talk to people all day long. I'm such a communicator, and I'm very open book, and I could do this stuff all
day. One of those little boys said something, and your answer was, that's a different Arielle Houlihan. And then there's this common thread amongst your posts. It's like, everything you see online is fake. That's not real. And so, it's almost like you're playing this game.
Mm-hmm. I'm playing a game.
Why let them know that that it's fake?
Because it's, I think, important to be real about it. And the most real thing is that I know how to play the game. Mm-hmm. I know how to do this whole social media thing. It's so second nature to me. I know that I can portray myself in a way that I'm growing a platform. And when I grow my platform, then I have a voice to be able to make change. And maybe my platform grows because of something good, and maybe it grows because of something that people don't like. And that's okay, it's still growing. And the more that it grows, the more influence that I have, and the more I'm able to be in the room. Nobody knows the full story of what happened. I can edit anything to make it into seem. I can leave something out that affects the entire story. Storytelling is such an art that I leave one little thing out, one look the wrong way or whatever, and it changes the whole story. And sometimes I leave it in because I know that story, it's going to drive so many people to, I know it's going to happen almost before it happens. It's a game, and I'm okay with letting everybody know it's a game, because I think that people pass judgment on something when they don't know the whole story, and they need to know that they're doing that. I'm trying to show a look into my life, which is, I have thought has been a very interesting life that I've been living, and I'm giving a lens into it, and people get to think all these different things about it. And some days my brand has kind of gone like this, of like, some days people think I'm great, and some days people think I'm the worst. And then all of a sudden they see something and they're like, oh, but how can you not like that?
Yeah.
And then the next day they're like, but she's arguing with somebody and she's treating them like that. It's like, it's such an emotional roller coaster of watching the whole thing. And I think that that's why it's so watchable.
I think with, that whole Spider-Man phrase, right? With great power comes great responsibility.
Sure. Yeah.
You use this influence that you have to change the rules at USA Volleyball.
Yeah.
All right, so we know, but can you do a quick recap?
Yeah.
And then kind of tell me what have been the downstream effects,
For sure.
and where do you think we're going to be, 6 months, 12 months,
Yep.
2 years from now?
For all of the rule changes, or
Let's the baby.
The babies one. Right,
babies on benches seems to be
benches is the big
the big one.
That has been the big victory one. I think that one is, it's something that I wish that I would have been a little bit more confident when I was a new mom, of having Riley so present. I was very, I wouldn't have had her on the bench, because I was a little bit more self-conscious of I want to be able to do all of this. I want to be able to show everybody I can handle it, and be who I was. And that's not an attainable thing at all, because I'm not who I was. I have a child now. And so my perspective on it was the juggle, but then Matt would have the baby on him, and man, he got the compliments, and he got all the things, and when he was doing it. And so it was kind of me figuring out who I am as a mom. Then watching families in our club form, and having babies, I just am I can't believe Allie Waleski having Grayson with her all the time, and Natalie having Greg, and watching them, it makes me kind of emotional, because I felt like I was the only one doing it. And for them to sign up to do this, I run the club, I make enough money, and there's a reason why I do it. But for them, they don't make a lot of money. They just do this because they love it. And they were toting their babies on planes, Allie putting Grayson on a plane to Chicago, and all the luggage and the stuff, and watching them do it, I was I can't believe that they're still signing up for this. This is crazy that they're doing it. I know why I did it, but them doing it too, it just made me very I can't believe we have such incredible women that are doing this too. But I had seen some kids, and little Marcelo, Rafa's little brother, he would get kicked off my bench because he would come and sit with me.
That little kid shagging balls with y'all?
Yeah.
I can't have him on the court. He's not a member of you. I don't want him to get injured. I'm sure he's probably better than half the people out here.
It's not about him being better. It's a little kid.
I know. He's not allowed to be on the court. Can you please get him off?
I cannot get him off.
I will go ask him to leave. Thank you.
You can go. Hey, I want you to see that little kid crying right there.
Okay.
Sobbing.
That's not my
Sobbing.
fault.
I'm just letting you know. I'm just letting you know. He's sobbing. He's sobbing over there. And I just was can you all grow up? These are kids. You want these kids to be in the room. You want them to be involved. Why are we kicking them off the bench? And the more we thought about it, it was this is kind of a crazy situation. Then Natalie had baby Greg in LA this summer, and he was 4 weeks old. And Natalie doing that, then having an issue with a referee harassing her, saying, no, you have to leave. I was just enough is enough here. I stopped the whole court. I told every single parent that was on both sides, the Cincinnati team, our team, like, this is what's happening. We're not letting this happen anymore. She can coach. She can do both of these things. There's no reason why a baby is more protected, not with its mom, a 4-week-old baby. On the other side of the court, it's the same distance. Like, that doesn't make any sense. And so I threw a fit. And I was like, Natalie, you shouldn't have to fight this battle yourself. She's figuring out how to breastfeed. She's doing all these things. And I'm like, why? You don't need to fight with people right now. Let me do this as the club director, as a boss, as a woman in the room. I was like, enough is enough. So I threw down and I made a video about it. People were like, yeah, this is ridiculous. I got so many messages from women saying that they had child protective services called on them from referees, saying that, I mean, it was crazy.
Because it's an endangerment
to the child.
Okay. Is there any merit to that?
I think that I'm going to get a message every time a kid gets hit by a ball for the rest of my life. Like, there's for sure danger everywhere. You walk out of the house, there's danger. Everywhere you go. If you want to bring your kid into a gym, there's for sure a risk that something is going to happen. A ball, same with the baseball field. A ball is going to fly, there's a risk for sure. The risk of it is not very, very high. I would protect my baby on me. I'm way more guarded about having a baby on my chest than I am when I don't. And so I felt like there wasn't any space in the room that was less or not protected.
I feel like this is about having choice.
This is about
right.
having
The
choice.
mom should have the choice,
for sure, absolutely.
right? And you take that liability and the responsibility on.
Waiver is an easy way for this to happen.
Versus someone telling you can't do it.
Totally.
Right? You should have that choice.
Absolutely.
It's your baby.
And I get it. On the event, my mom and I got into it on this. Like, she's an event owner. Like, and she was like, the liability is tough for these event owners here. And I'm like, I get it, but the waiver is the waiver. Like, there has got to be some sort of way around this, because we are raising so many girls volleyball players in this country, and we're telling them that they can't do it. They just can't do it. We're limiting them of what they can do. And I felt very, very strongly at it. We kind of let it drop. It happened this summer. I made another video about it at Nationals. Watching Natalie do it, because we also bought Baby Greg a membership and put him on the bench. And so they were like having a hard time fighting us on it, even though it said 5 and older. We still bought it, just lied about the birth date and said that Greg is on the bench, because they just come over and ask, what's the name? Is this a rostered person? So we were like, yeah, he's a rostered person. He says he's 6'10" on there, but it's a rostered person, sure. So we found a little bit of a loophole, even though if they really would have gone after us, which they didn't want to, because they knew how public it was as well.
Yeah, what do you know about what happened behind the scenes about how
I know
they
a
were?
lot, actually.
About how they were. Okay.
I know
because I'm sure that they saw this bubbling up. They couldn't ignore it. They had to address it at some point. Yeah. So what do you know about like what the decision making behind the scenes?
I actually posted. I wanted my last video of the year. On New Year's, I posted a pretty long form video of just saying, like, this hasn't been changed. And like told the story well.
I'm sure we're taller in another dimension. You say we're small and not worth the mention.
And then Matt also posted one.
If we just do a blanket policy and say no kids allowed, we're going to lose a ton of really good coaches, and they're going to be in a situation where they're just going to stop coaching, or maybe they go somewhere else that does have a better policy for them.
Matt is going to give a different side. I'm going to pull at the heartstrings, and Matt is going to give a factual, like, this is how this is supposed to happen, and that's it. Gave a good idea on how to solve it. I wasn't giving ideas on how to solve it, other than we need to let women choose. It was more of and I'm also creating awareness with it. And then me and Matt were going to the park with the kids, and my phone started blowing up. I started getting messages like, oh my gosh, they changed it. Oh my gosh, did you see the email that USA Volleyball sent out? And I looked at my phone and it was like, I mean, we just sat at the park and we were just like, oh my goodness. And then Spara called Matt And we were like, this is happening so fast right now. Sproul called Matt and said, it was one of my first things that I did. I got the new CFO to get on the phone with insurance, and he kind of championed the whole thing. And just went to bat for him and explained it to the insurance company, and like it had to fight with them a little bit on it, but got it changed. Thought there was no reason why this shouldn't be changed. It was a good first act for them, him coming in and that change happening, and that was it. Now the waiver, and now I get pictures every weekend of moms, and like every time, like all of my kids on my team see it. Like they'll be at a girls' tournament or something, they'll see a baby on the bench, and like people think of me with it. It's like, it's a really, that's been my biggest win so far, I think, of like putting myself out there and be able to like really affect change.
Do you think they did it just to shut you up, or they did it because it was the right thing to do?
I think they did it because, number one, Matt also supported this as well. I think it took Matt doing it and me doing it. And I think that they saw an easy fix, like a very logical, simple, like, we can do this. Thought there's no reason that this should happen. And they want us back at USA Volleyball. So I think that this is a nice move. We've got leverage.
Okay, so that was a strategy then. Like you and Matt, like you, I don't know, good cop, bad cop, kind of, sort of.
Or just like different cop.
It's different perspectives, right? Like
perspectives, and I do think that women need men supporting them to be able to champion some of these big issues that women are facing, and they need men supporting. And so for me and Matt, that has been such a superpower of ours with our club, of like, there are different things that we both fit into really, really well. And if one doesn't, the other one does. And we're able to like tag team the whole thing. Matt's like the mayor of Beta Bay and volleyball.
And then what are you then?
I'm like the enforcer. Or like I'm like, the only reason Matt can't ever be an actual mayor or president or anything, because I'm married to him, and like, there's no way I'm the first lady. Like, that's for sure.
Does being a superpower, does that mean there's a target on your back?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. That's why the other rules have been made. The other rules have been not so.
Can you explain those?
USA Volleyball banned microphones on benches.
Because of you?
I mean, yeah.
Why? What's
Great question. I believe
violation of privacy?
It's a referee thing. There's a lot of accountability that hasn't been there with referees, and they're trying to keep referees and keep good referees, and they're also trying to figure out how to get new referees in and make it an appealing thing. The microphones show a lot of the inside of what's going on, and not everybody should be recorded, probably.
Oh, so when they're coming to talk to you,
it's all
they
recorded.
don't want that audio.
They don't want anything.
Okay.
I'm like, if you're in a youth sporting event and you don't want to be recorded, you shouldn't be there.
Is it an invasion of privacy? Like, if somebody does not want their voice recorded, do they have the right to say, I don't want to be recorded?
Yes, any person that comes up to me and says, I don't want to be on camera, no problem. Like, I totally am respectful of that. I'm going to be on camera. And so people get to choose if they want to associate themselves with me.
How do you think this is going to play out? Do you think it'll change?
Yeah, I think it'll change.
Interesting.
I mean, in these big events, these are big public places. And it's youth. I think the point of, if you don't want to be recorded at a youth sporting event with kids there, I think that's more of a problem on the person not being, especially the adults that are in charge, the coaches, the people that are facilitating. Spectators, different story. If they don't want to be, they totally, but even when you walk in, you are saying, when you walk in, I have the right to take photos, and the tournament can take whatever they want.
I mean, look at how much video is being done anyway, right? Everyone's recording. Look at all the video you take.
Yeah.
I mean, baller TV is happening. Like, everybody's on camera.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think that there needs to be more cameras and more video and more microphones and more. I think that less problems will happen.
Yeah.
When you say accountability with refs, that seems like, God, there's so many layers to that statement.
Mm-hmm.
Are you saying then that refs are they power tripping? Are they?
Yes. For sure. I mean, I think there's definitely an ego in everything. Coaches do too. With the referees, I think there's an old school way of doing things.
Which is what?
Which is I'm in charge, and that's it.
There's definitely hierarchy on the court.
Totally hierarchy. You are the commander of the court, and I don't look at it like that, but that's what most referees look at it, like, this is my domain. And I think that they're facilitators of the game. And your job is to let these kids facilitate the game and do your best by it and be strong in your calls. The moment I sense hesitation in things, I'm like, what are we doing? Like, there's no hesitation. There's no room for hesitation here.
Yeah.
This is either make up your mind, this is what the rules are, I stand by it and done, we can totally move on.
Do you think all of this is coming back to bite you in some way, that a ref will say, I'll show her?
Oh, totally. Yeah. Oh, we have had some major situations happen with referees treating me very poorly. We also have some that come up and ask to take a picture with me. Like, the dichotomy of all of it is wild. We never know what we're going to walk into when, my team knows it.
Yeah.
We don't know who we're battling.
Yeah.
But it's all on camera.
Yeah.
And they know that.
Is it a net positive?
Yeah. I get to recruit from everywhere. I have a platform that is, like it or not, it's there, and I'm in the room for every major decision for boys volleyball and where this goes. I am the biggest advocate for our kids because of what I've done with the platform.
What would you have done if social media wasn't such a big thing?
It's part of why Bay became what it was, or what it is. When we took over, it was 2013. We were 22 and 21, and we knew we could do social media. We didn't know if we could win.
Okay.
That was something that that was not proven, but we did know we could do social media, and so we dove into the social media, and this was before TikTok, and everybody talked about how much they loved Bay social media. That was the one thing they talked about, and we weren't very good at that point. And slowly but surely, we were building and creating a real brand. And if social media wasn't around, marketing would have been. And social media is just marketing. It's just a question of how do you reach people. And so our reach is so vast now because of social media. It's just a form of communication for us.
Now, you say that your brand is being a coach. I say a big part of that brand is I don't give a F what you think.
Yeah, totally. I do care.
That's the persona, though.
Yeah.
That's the game.
It's the persona, and it's partially a coping mechanism of being in the room. Like, I don't know what I'm going to go up against. And I have to for me to be able to be successful in that room, I can't just walk around like nobody's going to mess with me. Like, everybody's going after us. And so we've dealt with some awful situations over the last 10, 15 years.
Isn't that exhausting?
Yeah, totally. It is exhausting. But there is a part of it that is my nature. It's not fake. It is a real, like, it's not an I don't give a fuck, I defend my people. And if I didn't have people to defend, that people were following us, there would be none of this. And so for me, it's more my kids are watching and their parents are watching, and I want somebody who's going to defend my kids. And so the majority of the confrontation and that kind of stuff that's happening is me defending the people that deserve to be defended.
I have a part 2 of our
Yes.
thing ready to do.
Oh,
do you bake a lot?
I don't really bake that much. I do know how to bake.
Excellent.
But I,
Excellent. Okay.
But that's okay, right? Like, we have to be okay with that.
Totally.
We are gonna frost a cake.
Love that.
It's easy to do poorly. You're gonna do it first, and then
Okay.
you're gonna do the second one. All right, so this thing spins, and you want it to kind of be right in center.
Okay.
And then what you do is you spoon a big chunk of it on here.
Yep.
And then you smooth it on there.
Okay.
And then the trick is you rinse that off, and then
Yeah.
you heat it.
Oh, wow.
And then the heat melts it just a little bit, and it smooths it.
Wow. I'm just trying to think of every baking show that I've ever seen. Are we
All right.
heating this already?
Nope, not yet. So you're gonna spread it
With this?
kind of thin. Yes.
Okay.
Spin it and spread it.
Oh, yeah. Lazy Susan this.
And then don't swirl, but kind of hold it steady, and then you're gonna spin it underneath it. There you
Oh,
go.
wow.
I figured you're so good at doing so many other things. I gotta get you doing other stuff.
I know. Things that I'm not perfect at. All I need to do is see somebody do something once, and then I feel like I can do it. Like that?
Yes.
My
Sure.
goodness. There. This is harder than it looks, everybody. My aunt's gonna be so disappointed in me. She's gonna be like, did I never teach you how to frost a cake?
Okay, you see it taking shape? This is good. This is good. You've got a good base on there.
I really need to really dig deeper into like how I don't have this social battery. Like Matt has a social battery.
So he needs to go away.
Yeah,
and
from
curl-
me
curl-
too. He's like, stop talking to me. Like I could just do it all day long. Yeah.
While we're talking about Matt, mustache. Yay or nay?
Sure, I don't mind it. I don't think that it's like a thing. Everybody talks about it though. Everybody's like, "Isn't Matt? What's up with Matt and the mustache? What's up with like?" I'm like, I don't even care.
If you had your way, like you would clean shaven or?
I don't really know. He doesn't do like a beard. He does. He's like only does the mustache, and so he like can't do the beard fully. It's like patchy and stuff, and so like. It's either the mustache or nothing. And then sometimes when he shaves the mustache off, I'm like, are you a child? Like, and so it's like very, like, I don't really know. I just kind of let him pick and choose what he does. I can cook when I want to. I just don't ever really want to.
I want to ask a question on behalf of the boys out here.
Is the question, who are you coaching next year?
Exactly.
It's the question of the year. I haven't decided yet. So everybody was asking me at the Bell tournament yesterday the same thing. And I was like, they were like, you need to decide so that everybody else can decide. And as a director, like the reason I took my team right now, the reason I took my team is because nobody else wanted to take them 16s year. Like everybody else had the team that they wanted. And I was like, oh, am I actually going to take 16s?
Wait, you got last pick?
Like the biggest thing for Beta Bay specifically with our people, like I want our people to be happy. Like I want our coaches to be happy. Like I'm going to do this no matter what. They're not going to do this no matter what. And so for them, like this is the time of year that we start having the conversations of like, what is it? Was anybody like unhappy this year? And we want good people involved. And so that usually means me and Matt, like not always taking the team that we want, or not always getting our really first pick of what we want. Obviously there's like some things that fall into place of like when I won last year, obviously I was going to take this team again this year with all the recruiting and everything that had been done. That was like a natural. And then there are some years where it's like very easy with some coaches. There's some years that it's like weeks and weeks and weeks of conversations on like trying to figure out what they want or what they want to do and how much time they can commit and stuff. So I think that with this being a transition year for me, because I don't have this team anymore, I'm kind of open to like not really sure yet. I have my eye on a couple teams, but I have not decided yet.
How do you balance skill, like when you're making that decision for yourself, like skill of that team and then the actual relationship?
Honestly, the parents have a lot to do with it too sometimes. Like there are times where it's like a group of parents that are great and like that is a draw to that group of people that you're spending time with. And then there's a group of parents that are like, oh, we've got a couple that were like, oh my goodness, like this is going to be tough to deal with. Like, is that coach equipped to handle what that
Fascinating.
is and like what comes with that. And yeah, there's so many things.
Wait, so parents are factored into...
Oh, absolutely.
Wait, difficult parents are factored
Honestly,
into...
I've been saying we should have tryouts based on parents for years and years and years and years. I've been like, let's just have tryouts. Parents sit, interview with the coach, done. We decide based off parents. We'd be a happy club. We'd be like a...
Because we as parents always think about this too,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Like you can see the parents, you can
Totally.
watch how they engage.
We absolutely, decisions are made based off of how the parents are interacting. It's not completely... It's why it's so funny that like parents try and like reason with the whole thing of like, how did this happen? You know, with when the whole process happens of like tryouts and this and like where people go, and it's like there are so many factors that come into play that it's like you can't even, when you're outside of that decision making process, you can't even make sense of it. As a parent, like you just hope that your kid lands in a place that is what's best for them. And you advocate for them as much as you can, but then for the most part, like you just hope that they land in the right place. And sometimes it is what you think it is, and sometimes it's completely different than what you think it is. But yes.
So skills is a factor. It's not the factor.
It's one of the factors.
Wow.
For sure. Potential is one of the factors. The way you walk could be a factor. The way you jump, the way your arm swing is, the way you're like. There's so many different little things.
You talked about charisma.
Oh, absolutely. I've taken on my teams. I've taken a kid every year, pretty much, that people would be like, "Wait, what? Why that kid?" or "What?" And there's just a mix of people that I need, and sometimes that's the mix, you know. And sometimes they pan out as players, and sometimes whatever it is. But yeah, the personality is, for me, a very, very important thing. I feel like I'm good here.
Rinse that in hot water. So
Okay.
get hot water going.
Coming into tryouts and you watch the parents, because we always wonder like red flags.
Our pre-tryout with our coaches, we're like, if you see something, say something. Like, that's for sure. Like, I've had plenty of times where I've said no because...
The parent.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. For sure.
It's nice and hot now?
Yep.
Okay. All right, so
It's
now
warm.
take it and spin.
Oh, so it's going to do the...
See how it's smoothing?
Oh, yeah.
Nice. Ooh, Peggy's got her work cut out for her.
I'm like scared. I'm horrified.
All right, so what are some best practices for parents, like at tryouts?
How am I going to behave at tryouts for my own kids? How about that one? Okay. If I was walking into a soccer club, sure, and my kids are trying out, I would make my presence known. I don't need to like fall completely to the side and like not. I'd make my presence known of like I'm there, but I would let my kid do everything. Talking, all of the stuff. I would listen and advocate. I would say for us, 12s, 13s, great, advocate. 14s, we start to see there are some that have parents there. There's some that are doing it on their own. The 14-year-olds and the parents that are doing it on their own, those zones are interesting to me because it's like they're really trying to get their kid to go and do it. And you can tell, like in that 8th grade time.
Still kind of awkward.
Still, like, you've got some kids who can, some kids who can't, and like 15s for sure. 15s, 16s, like that's why I like taking 16s, 17s, 18s. Those are I would say my 3 favorite, just because I'm diving into how to help the kids be adults.
An
independent adult. And everything goes through the kid.
So basically be chill.
Yeah, just be chill. Go hang out at the first tournament, go to the bar, see the coaches there, buy them a drink, hang out, clap for your kid. I tell my parents on my team, if you see me upset, you can get upset. But if you don't see me upset, I don't ever want to see you upset. Like, I want you to be happy and supportive and excited for your kid. If you see me upset, I'm sure you can defend me a little bit and like you can be upset. Other than that, if I'm not upset, then you can't be upset either. And like, we will make sure that your kid's taken care of. And that's it. And if your kid's upset, your kid can come talk to me. And that's great. And we'll have a conversation.
Yeah.
So your 18s team, you've known them for 3 years. Mm-hmm. I imagine that goodbye is going to be hard.
I will say, I think that it's hard every year. Like, I said bye to Owen Smith last year, and he's been in our club since he was 8 years old. So, like, there's every single year, there is a goodbye that is really, really difficult. This year, it's just a special, they're all special groups. I think that everybody thinks that they're the most special group to me. And I'm like, I've had a lot of groups, guys. Like, they're all pretty special to me. Like, they're all very different. None of them are the same. Like, our first national championship, that group, like, was really special to me. This group I've been with for a really long time. But I just know, like, going through the first time that I took a team for 3 years, I know that I was so lost after I took that team, and then I just like wound up doing 16s the next year, and that was the group that I won my first national championship with. So it was like, every group is different. They're all just special and different, and you just don't really know what it's going to bring to you. Some are harder than others, some are more, they're all just so different. So it's like...
When you say you were lost...
Oh, yeah, I just was like, I was young too. I was 24 when I had been done with my first group that I took for 3 years. I was like, I'm never going to find a group like this again. Like, I'm not, like, I don't know how I'm going to do this. Like, I have such a connection with these people. Like, I don't know. I just didn't have the perspective that I have now. And now I'm like, I know there's kids. There's so many kids. Like, they're just going to keep coming and, like, keep doing this. And so... it's all very different. Like, each experience with each team is very, very different. So I'm actually kind of excited for my team to be gone because they're so sick of listening to me that it's like you guys aren't even listening to me anymore. I've had you for 3 years. Like, get out of here. Like, you guys need to go to college. So yes, there will be a lot of tears this summer, but it's just the way that it's supposed to go, you know?
How different do you think it would be if you were coaching girls from an emotional standpoint and how you coach?
I just think people are people. I think just like parenting a daughter and parenting a son, there's differences, but you love your kids the same, you know? So it's different, but I think the way that I do things is so people driven that I don't coach one way. I give people what they need. Or what I think they need. Okay, I think we're good here.
Yeah?
Yeah, looks good.
Okay. All right.
There's a little bit of a...
You're giving up.
Yeah.
Does it have to be, like, super smooth?
It's up to
like,
you.
that's the question, right?
It's up to you.
I feel like it looks better than any other cake I've ever frosted, and I've only ever frosted this cake, so...
Yeah, see? There you go.
When it's like this, people just say it's rustic.
Yeah.
Peggy, you want to give it a shot?
Oh, God, I'm horrified.
Let's do it.
Cheers.
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 Arielle's.
Both.
Yeah, double fisting.
There we go.
Love it. You know what I love about your girls? Because every time I see them, they're not afraid of adults.
They are very comfortable with
And-
adults. It was funny, somebody, who was it, asked them? Oh, Riley was talking to Leslie's second born, Gabby, who was her best bud.
Okay.
And I was listening to them when we were at the beach. They were just having this like full conversation. And Gabby goes, who do you hang out with when you're not with me? And Riley goes, Chad and Lacey. And I was like, that is so funny that Chad and Lacey were the first people that she thought of.
Chad and Lacey are
Chad and Lacey, the coaches. Like, Chad, like, I was like, that's so funny that she thinks that that's who her friends are, is like Chad and Lacey. Like, well, I was like, those are our 30-year-old friends. Like, that's so funny.
I tell Lucas,
Yeah.
talking to adults is a huge key to success because they're the ones that hire.
Yeah.
They're the ones that control everything in your life.
Totally.
They're the ones that have all the money and the power
Yep.
for now.
Yep.
And so it's best that you learn
How to do it now. Yeah.
to interface with
Yeah.
adults.
If you were not coaching,
Yeah. What would I be doing?
what would you be doing?
Well, I told Matt when he came to me, I was 1 year out and he was finishing his last year in 2012. He came to me and said they want me to take over Beta Bay. Beta Bay had like 6 teams at the time. And I was like, no, absolutely not. We're not doing this. Like, this is what I did I remember the conversation like it was yesterday.
This was not your dream.
Oh no, I was like, I'm done with volleyball. I was done after my sophomore year and joined a sorority. Didn't play volleyball, supported Matt, him playing, but was like, I'm not doing this anymore. Wanted to stay at the school, refused to transfer, was just like, I'm doing this, I'm doing this here. And I partied and hung out and just had a normal life, which I had never had before. And honestly, the things that I did that in those 2 years with the sorority and just like friends and life, I think that I take more of that than I into our culture at Beta Bay than anything that I ever went through. And so Matt came to me and was like, I want to take over the club. And I was like, no way, this is what I grew up in. Like, I know what this looks like. I know what a life looks like in this. I don't want to do that. I just don't want everything to be about volleyball. And he was like, well, what else are we going to do? And I was like, well, I don't have the answer to that yet because I was working as an admin at a tennis club and I was just like, I didn't know. I had a communications degree and I was like, I don't know. And so he was like, well, this is what I want to do. I want to coach this summer and then I want to take over the club. And they had 6 teams and we were like, this is a nothing thing. And I was like, okay, well, I will help you get it started. And then I'm going to get a tech job and I'm going to start working in the Bay Area and like, I'll do something in marketing or I'll do something in whatever. And he was like, okay. And when we started coaching, I got put with the 16 threes team and was told that I couldn't coach the higher level boys because I was a girl. And was just like, it was just a different vibe and it was a different thing going on. And I was like, man, there's so many things here that I know how to do and nobody's doing them. I was just like, this is ridiculous. Like, I couldn't stand it. And so my parents were like, just shut up, be quiet, wait until this club gets turned over to you guys. Like, you've got a cool thing coming here. In August 10th, we had the club signed over to us and we had 0 online registration. We went to our first tryout. We had no idea if anybody was coming. Like, we were a 22 and 21-year-old just being like, I dressed up for the first tryout. Like, I wore like a dress and heels. Like, I was like pretending, I was signing every email Beta Bay staff. Like, I had a group of people working behind me, but it was just me and Matt in like our 1 bedroom. Like, it was literally us just trying to figure it out.
You guys were still in school.
Yeah, I mean, we just got out and I was on the phone with my parents every day. I mean, even like profit and loss and what our line items looked like and what we needed to budget and all of that stuff we had a roadmap of what it looked like and we just kind of had to grit our teeth and bear it and like be bad at the beginning and just start doing, and we slowly started making some waves and things and we had 1 team that was good. And just grew the 12-year-olds, grew the little kids, like really put a lot of effort into that. We were like 18s, whatever, like they're gonna be gone in a year. Like, we need to really dive into the little kids.
What was some of the best advice you got from your parents?
I think best thing that both of my parents ever said about it was that it's just people. Like, this is just, that we kept dealing with things that my mom would be like, I've never dealt with that in 30 years of doing this. It's just because it's people. You never know what you're going to run into with people. So it's really just about caring for people and trying to take care of them. And I think my dad did that really, really, really well. Matt had no idea what he was doing. Oh my goodness. He had no idea.
But he wanted to do it.
He was the one that was the reason why we have what we have. And he was so clueless on oh my goodness. What he learned and grew into was like from here to here. Like, it was a huge transformation of like him. I mean, he naturally is a people pleaser. He wants everybody to be happy. He wants everybody to be He's such a people pleaser.
That can be exhausting.
And that's exhausting. And in this job, there's no way everybody's going to be happy. Like, it's just not going to happen. And so there was so many discussions on like how to be okay with people not being happy with him, because he's just not going to. And for me, it's like, you're not going to have somebody happy with you no matter what. Like, you take a stand on something and that's it. It's black and white. And Matt doesn't fall into that as much. He's more of a middle ground, which is great. It's the best. I couldn't do what I'm doing without somebody next to me who is middle ground, because I need somebody to pull me back sometimes. So,
how do you think he's done with that though? Like, do you feel like he's still exhausted when he has to make tough decisions, or?
I mean, there's an emotional drain on this job for sure.
Yeah.
We have such a machine that runs now. Like, our club is a machine at this point. And we just have such good people involved. So we have a lot of trust in the people that are around us. And so he is, Matt's the mayor. Like, that's the easiest thing that it's like, he can get up in front of a crowd of any size and talk to people. Like, he's right next to them and just give a really professional, like, he's the pro part of our business.
When you met him, was he like that too? Or do you feel like this is a skill that he's developed?
It's a skill that he's developed, but he's always been an inspirational person. I think both of us were like the party starters in college. That's what, like, we always were like trying to get everybody to dress up in a theme and trying to get everybody to go and do something together. We're very driven by like groups of people, all of our friends. I think he's trying to even tone it back. I think he's trying to tone back the evolution of, he's trying to like be more relatable and more in his brand right now. He's trying to be more of like the unfiltered, because he's seen what that has done with mine as well.
Interesting.
Yeah, he's trying
Does that explain all the cursing?
Oh yeah, for
in
sure.
the
Totally,
highlight reels?
Totally different than what.
Different, yeah.
But there's also a part of my brand that's like, we're not hiding anything. We're not gonna hide anything. We're just gonna be very out in the front. And I think that the majority of clubs in this country hide a lot. They hide a ton.
Like what?
Just the nature of these people. The people are flawed. Everybody's flawed. Whether it's cursing or it is anything you can think of. People, you lose it, or there's so much with a lot of these clubs that the culture is, there's a lot of negative that goes on in the culture of youth sports.
And you call it out.
Yeah, we're just very like, we curse. If that's the worst thing about us is that we curse, we're good with that. Like, we are totally fine with that. Like, if that's the biggest scandal that you can find about Bay Volleyball Club, that we curse, yep, you're right, I'll stay, yep, no problem. Like, we're just very, we want to be transparent with people of like, this is what, I wish that there's so much that goes on in the volleyball world that we can't say to everybody, because politically we have to navigate the volleyball world as well. And I wish we could. I wish that there are so many times where I'm like, man, I want to post about this. But there's people involved, and there's things that we can't just go out and like, we're not going to be able to be at the table for very much longer if we do that. There has to be a line.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I do wish that everything could just be completely transparent to everybody.
That doesn't sound like you, to be careful. But
yes, but I'm very strategic.
Okay.
Yeah. I let it fly, but it is very strategic. Every single thing that I do has a reason. I have to be able to give a reason for every single thing that I do, or I shouldn't be doing it.
Putting the machinery, the system on blast. You don't do that in a knee-jerk way?
Not in a knee-jerk way. It's a strategic way. Because I still have to be in the room.
And do they know that that's always like in your back pocket? That's always. I mean, is that a threat?
Kind of, like a little bit. Like I am the biggest disruptor in this sport right now. There's no question. Like, I don't know if there's anybody else that's even close. Like, and I have to be careful in the way that I do that, because maybe I don't always want to be that. Maybe I want a position. I've been offered positions in USA Volleyball. I've been offered and I have decided that I want to be my own boss. But I also have to work with people still too. And so I just have to be careful of who I align with, and who. The political side of volleyball is a big deal.
Yeah. Why not take that job at USA Volleyball and change it from the inside?
I don't want to. I like doing what I do. I love coaching my team. I love the people that I get to be around. I think that I have the control of what I'm doing, and the system is a broken system, and I don't know what the next 20 years brings for my career, but I do know that I want to continue with what we are doing with our club, and growing, especially with the facility coming and growing what we're doing with our club. I want to take care of my girls, and if they want to play, I want them to be taken care of. And I want to support women's sports as much as I can in that, while still maintaining my boys club and my boys team, and being a woman in a male-dominated space. I want to also further women's volleyball. So the pro landscape is a really interesting landscape to me, and there's a couple different facets that I would get into, but I wouldn't get into leadership with the systems in place right now. That's not the place that I'm in right now, for sure.
If I were to kind of condense that, I'd say you're having too much fun doing this.
Yeah, for sure. I got a dream job.
That's looking pretty good. How do you feel?
On the cake?
Yeah?
I don't know. It's a little barren over here.
It's harder than you thought it would be?
Yeah. I think I'd rather be at work. I'm good.
You're good?
Oh, this is good for me. I know there's flaws over here, but
It's also rustic.
Not bad. This is Peggy's.
No, we got the whole thing. We're good.
Cool. Not bad, Arielle Houlihan.
Thank you very much.
Arielle Houlihan. Let him go.
Cake baker.
I know.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Thank you for
Cheers.
an amazing day.
I know. Cheers.
Yeah,
Fun.
cheers.
Cheers.
It was really cool hanging out with you.
So fun. This is amazing.
Thank you for doing this. I appreciate it.
Oh, I'm happy to.
I think all the parents are going to, it demystifies you. It makes you a little less scary.
Good.
A little bit more approachable. And it just kind of helps to build, this sense of community, this family, this cool thing that we've got going on.
It's a pretty cool thing.
It's a really cool family that you guys
It
built.
is.
Yeah.
Cool. All
We're
right.
very fortunate.